My mum said, "You're tired. You don't have a stable job anyway. Just watch the kids for your brother." Then she left 3 little kids on my doorstep. At that exact moment, I was on a cruise ship sailing through the warm waters of Mexico, and my phone started blowing up with her yelling, "Get back here and fix this right now." My name is Kylie. I'm 30 years old, a freelance graphic designer and content creator. I run my own business, I own my apartment, and I'm doing really well for myself. But in my family's eyes, because I work from home and don't have a husband or kids, I'm the one doing nothing. I'm always available, the default babysitter every holiday. This year they went too far. They didn't ask. They just assumed my life could be paused so they could have their perfect Christmas. What they didn't expect was that I finally paused them instead. If you've ever been treated like the convenient one in your family, you're going to want to hear how this played out. I still remember that Christmas, exactly 2 years ago, like it was yesterday. December 23rd, I left my apartment early, drove the usual 3 hours through traffic to my mom's suburban house, overnight bag, and a few gifts in the trunk. The moment I stepped inside, the familiar smell of pine hit me, along with the first request. "Kylie, you're here just in time. The tree is half done and the lights are tangled again. Can you help?" I spent the entire afternoon untangling strings of lights, testing bulbs that didn't work, wrapping them around branches. Mom sat on the couch, occasionally directing me to move a section higher or lower. Then came the ornaments, glass balls, family heirlooms, and the children's handmade ones from past years. I fluffed the branches, adjusted the star. By the time I finished, the tree sparkled beautifully. Then came the gifts. Mum had a pile waiting, but several still needed wrapping. I sat on the floor measuring, cutting, folding, and tying bows for hours. Sticky fingers, aching knees, but I kept going because the stack was endless. I also prepped food for the next day, chopping vegetables, marinating the ham, setting out ingredients so everything would be ready. On Christmas Eve morning, Preston and Lana arrived with Ava, who was 4, and to Ethan, who was 2. The kids burst through the door, screaming about Santa and presents. I helped carry in their suitcases, diaper bags, and toys. Mum hugged them, then turned to me. "Kylie, you're a natural with the kids. Can you watch them while we finish setting up?" That request lasted the entire day. While Mum, Preston, and Lana relaxed by the fireplace with mugs of eggnog, talking and laughing about work and old memories, I stayed with the kids. Ava wanted every present opened immediately, tearing paper everywhere. Ethan toddled around, putting everything in his mouth. I picked up scraps of wrapping constantly, folded them away so no one choked. When Ava got a new doll set, she insisted on playing right then, so I sat on the floor building it with her. Ethan got fussy mid-morning, so I carried him, bouncing him until he calmed. Lunch came and I prepared separate plates for the kids. Small portions cut into tiny pieces, nothing they could choke on. I fed Ethan in his high chair while Ava ate at the little table. The adults had their meal at the dining table, plates piled high, wine glasses refilled. I snatched bites of my own food between wiping mouths and cleaning spills. The afternoon dragged on the same way. Diaper changes, snack time, more play. Ethan rubbed his eyes early, overtired from the excitement, so I rocked him in the guest room, singing softly until he dozed off. Ava wanted stories read over and over. The living room filled with the smell of baking cookies and roasting meat. But I only caught whiffs while chasing the kids. Then evening arrived, and the moment that still burns clearest happened. The tree lights were on full glow, everyone in cozy pajamas. Mum clapped her hands excitedly. "Okay, family photo time. Everyone in front of the tree. Hurry!" Preston scooped Ava onto his shoulders. Lana stood next to him, arm around Mom's waist. They arranged themselves perfectly, smiling wide. I was across the room on the sofa, cradling Ethan, who had just fallen asleep again. His warm weight pressed against my chest, his breathing steady. I didn't want to disturb him, so I stayed put, thinking I'd slip in once the timer went off or someone called me. But no one did. Mom set the phone on the mantel, hit the timer, rushed back into place. Smile, flash. They checked it, laughed, one more, another flash, then another. "This one's great," Preston said. "Yeah, capture it before Ava starts wiggling," Lana added. Not a single glance my way. No, "Kylie, come join." Just excitement over the shots they already had. I sat there in the dim corner, holding a sleeping child, staring at the group I had made possible. The quiet kids, the clean floor, the perfect setup. And I wasn't in any of it. Later, after the children were finally down for the night and the adults moved to the den for a movie and more drinks, I reheated leftovers in the microwave. The ham was dry by then, the sides cold. I ate standing at the counter, fork in one hand, scrolling my phone with the other to avoid the silence. A few weeks later, Mom posted the chosen photo in the family chat. The big printed version was now framed and hung right above the fireplace in her living room. Everyone glowing, arms linked, tree sparkling behind them. It stayed there for the next 2 years, greeting every visitor. The perfect family Christmas memory. Only I wasn't in it. That night, eating cold food alone while their laughter drifted from the other room, the hurt landed differently. It wasn't just tiredness anymore. It was the sharp realization that in their picture, literal and figurative, I simply didn't count. The call came on a late November afternoon while I was deep into editing files for a major client. I was at my desk in my apartment, surrounded by dual monitors, color palettes, and open layers stacked in Photoshop. The project was a rebrand for a tech startup. High stakes, big paycheck, deadline looming after New Year's. My phone vibrated. Mom. I muted the music in my headphones and answered, switching to speaker so I could keep my hands free. "Hi, Mom," I said, clicking save on the latest version. "Kylie, there's my girl. How's everything?" "Busy as always." Her voice was warm, almost singing, the tone she uses when about to share exciting news. We exchanged small talk, weather, garden club, then she eased in. "I've been thinking about Christmas this year. Preston and Lana are completely worn out. With 3 kids under 7, they barely get a moment to breathe. I had the perfect idea. They deserve a real break, just the adults. Nice dinners out, maybe a little getaway. The kids can stay with you for a few days. Your place is spacious, central, your family. They'll bring everything. Crib, diapers, bottles, clothes. Ava's 6 now, helpful. Ethan's 4, full of energy. Harper's 8 months, mostly sleeps." My cursor froze midair. "Stay with me for a few days?" "Mom, I can't. This project is massive. Client revisions come unpredictably, calls scheduled. A baby needs constant attention, and the older kids need meals, baths. It's full time. I can't split focus and deliver professional work." She stayed gentle. "Oh, sweetie, I know you're working hard, but you're at home, right? Not commuting. Kids can entertain themselves. Ava can color. Ethan has his tablets. Harper mostly naps. You'll barely notice." I tried again. "Mom, I'll notice, and it's not just babysitting, it's my work. Deadlines aren't optional." She countered softly, implying my work wasn't as serious. Mine a flexible schedule, Preston carrying the real burden. Each objection I raised, she layered with more reasoning. How disappointed the kids would be. Reservations already made, my apartment, the perfect location. When I pushed harder, "Mom, I'm seriously saying no." Tone calm. "Kylie, please don't make this difficult. I already told Preston you're excited. He's relieved. Lana's overwhelmed. You wouldn't want to let them down, would you? I just want everyone happy. Everyone except you, apparently. But that's not fair. I love you just as much. This is about balance. The familiar weight settled. Guilt mixed with frustration. She never yelled, never insulted outright, just that steady drip implying my life was less valid, my refusal selfish. Finally, she wrapped it up. Anyway, it's settled. I'll let Preston know. Kids will be excited. Love you. Talk soon. Click. I sat staring at the screen, heart pounding. Anger first, then helplessness, the same as 2 years ago when I wasn't worth waiting for in a photo. She hadn't listened. Not once. She decided, informed, and hung up. Refusing now would make me the villain. I closed the laptop slowly. My mind raced. Several days with 3 young children, no backup, business on hold. The more I thought, the clearer it became. This wasn't about the kids, it was about convenience. My convenience never factored in. By evening, anger hardened into resolve. I wasn't letting this happen again. I spent nights considering options, checking nannies, weighing compromise, but every time I came back to the same truth. This wasn't compromise, it was surrender. By midweek, clarity arrived. Scrolling travel sites, I found it. A solo cruise along the Mexican Riviera. Warm sun, all-inclusive right before the drop-off date. No questions asked. Cabin booked, balcony, meals included, optional excursions. Weeks flew in secret preparations. Locks changed, cameras installed, apartment secured. Communication light, texts like, all set here, excited for the kids. While packing for myself, nothing child-related. Work wrapped up, auto replies set, everything buttoned up. Cruise morning, I sat on deck with coffee, phone on Do Not Disturb. Motion alerts flooded my phone. Mom, Preston, Lana pulling into my driveway. Doorbells, knocks, frantic kids, snow flurries. A neighbour emerged, threatening police. Chaos ensued. They left, flustered, cold, frustrated. I watched silently, emotions mixed. Vindication, a twinge for the kids, mostly relief. The following days were mine, markets in Cabo, beaches in Mazatlan, streets of Puerto Vallarta, long breakfasts, poolside reading, quiet dinners. No demands, no guilt. Every sunrise over the ocean reinforced it. The holiday was mine. Back home, unpacked slowly, salt air memories fading. Family chat silent, Mom and Preston blocked. No calls, consequences played out without me. Months later, Aunt Helen updated me. Chaos, ruined plans, exhausted kids. Mom's perfect holiday collapsed. Preston and Lana stressed. Distances grew. Scrolling Facebook, a 2-year-old memory popped up. The framed Christmas photo, tree glowing, everyone smiling. Still without me. Old sting flickered. Then I looked around my own space. Quiet, organized, mine. For the first time, I stood in the center of my own picture. Boundaries aren't selfish. Self-respect doesn't require sacrifice. Time isn't disposable. Life settled. Work flows uninterrupted. Holidays by choice, distance healthy. The frame I'm in now fits perfectly, and it's all mine.